Is the newest commercial aircraft designed by the world's leader in jet aviation, Boeing Commercial Airplanes. It is the plane everyone's been talking about and waiting to fly on.
Flight is right on the other side.
These passengers are boarding a Continental Airlines flight from New Jersey's Newark International Airport on the largest twin-engine long-range jet ever made. The pilot makes a final visual inspection of general aircraft readiness, checking for anything suspicious. Although that is routine, this is no ordinary flight. For international travelers, the horror stories of long and uncomfortable flights will soon become a distant memory.
The last experience was terrible. I flew from Washington, D.C. to New York, New York to Anchorage, Anchorage to Seoul, Korea, and then Seoul, Korea to Hong Kong. It was like a day and a half. So that was painful, very painful.
Departure frequency will be 1190.2, squawk 27.
Continental Flight 99 is about to fly over the North Pole and into the pages of history as the world's first non-stop service between New York and Hong Kong. With the Russians and Chinese finally allowing twin-engine commercial flights over their airspace, the trip takes only 15 hours, 25 minutes, 2 hours shorter than any previous route. But at this moment, the longest non-stop flown anywhere by any airline. How does Continental do it? It purchases a new state-of-the-art Boeing 777, recognized as a revolution in aircraft design and technology, combining power and size with range and speed. This model is expected to carry more passengers and load than the 767 and fly farther than the 747. The 777, fastest twin-engine commercial jet in the air, has championship bloodlines. Despite dominating the industry for decades, Boeing was not satisfied with its conservative operation. For each jet that was built, at least 4 were designed. Some required modification after final assembly. Airlines spent months customizing finished planes before flying them. But Boeing's inventive wide-body twin-engine jet called for a new and improved way to design and build a plane.
Design-build teams were used, which brought together design engineering, manufacturing, all of the suppliers that were going to build the parts for us, and put us into a collaborative environment where everybody could get their issues resolved while the airplane was still in design.
Boeing also asked airline employees and passengers for input, and to ensure that thousands of design-build personnel would understand the practical design and market needs of the airline customer, Boeing invited the airlines to participate in this new working together philosophy.
The working together concept with the airlines was pretty difficult for Boeing because we'd walk into one of these design-build teams as a solitary customer, and a lot of these designers had never seen a customer before, and we'd never seen designers before. So the meeting was very awkward. I likened it to walking into the girls' locker room. You know, everybody was very nervous.
United was the first to buy the 777 and the first to fly passengers. Other airlines also contributed to substantial design changes. The first radial nose gear tires ever used on an American jet. A folding wingtip option so the massive wings could still fit conventional airport gates. And a cabin nearly the size of a 747. All in all, 8 airlines contributed several hundred design changes. Working together was in fact working. The 777 is the first commercial jet to be designed and pre-assembled entirely by computer using 3D solid modeling. You can see the plane come together piece by piece in solid geometric three-dimensional form. Parts can be turned in every direction. You know before production if they fit together properly. Even robo-workers in the software tell you if real mechanics can fit into tight places to fix things. When the aircraft is ready to be built in the world's largest building, the fuselage where passengers sit is assembled first. It is put together upside down for easier access, then rotated to install. There's no mistaking distinctive 777 features. Huge streamlined wings angled to accommodate the largest jet engines ever built for cruising long distances just under the speed of sound. A six-wheel landing undercarriage is used for the first time by an American aircraft manufacturer, distributing weight and handling better in wet conditions. It is the largest on any jetliner. Boeing can assemble 7 777s a month. Flight simulation testing takes place in a huge laboratory built to behave like the actual aircraft. Thousands of test flights happen here and in the air, representing twice the plane's 30-year lifespan. They analyze aerodynamics, metal fatigue, cabin pressure, engine performance. Frozen birds are fired from high-powered cannons to see if engine blades would cause extensive internal damage at 200 miles per hour. Crosswind landings are repeated and lowest takeoff speeds studied, as are aborted full-speed takeoffs and even life-threatening engine stalls. This was described as the most ambitious testing procedure in the history of aviation. Finally, after successfully demonstrating that one engine could fly the plane 3 hours longer than necessary in the event of a single engine failure, Boeing's 777 was ready to fly commercially.
You know, when we finally delivered the airplane, was just a very big day for everybody here at Boeing. But maybe even a day that was bigger than that was the day of first flight. And we all stood by the side of the flight line here in Everett and watched that airplane take to the air for the first time after putting 3 and 4 years of our time into it. It was very, very exciting.
When United flew from London to Washington, D.C. as the 777's first scheduled service, it arrived 30 minutes early, using the most powerful engines in commercial aviation from Pratt & Whitney. Because Boeing wants these planes to be highly marketable, the passenger cabin is designed to be reconfigured by the airline.
The 777 was designed feature-wise as well to have a flexible interior, which is unique to this particular airplane. It would be galleys, lavatories, partitions, closets, those sorts of things. It allows them to reposition those components within the airplane, even on an overnight basis, where they wanted to put more seats in one class of the cabin as opposed to another class.
The 777 is all about convenience and comfort.
This is the cabin controls main menu for the 777 aircraft. It controls lighting, the service call chime control for each individual passenger, the cabin temperature throughout the whole cabin.
For the passengers, entertainment options seem unlimited. On long trips that will soon have a range of 10,000 miles, passing the time is a matter of personal choice. In the cockpit, flight management is as advanced as it gets. Boeing's first all-digital commercial aircraft interprets pilot commands and activates the appropriate controls.
We have fire handles for engine fires. These are the fuel control switches.
It is called fly-by-wire, reducing the weight of cables and pulleys and allowing the computer to maintain aircraft stability at all times. It controls rollovers and dives, prevents flying too fast or too slow. It also allows ground maintenance crews to monitor and diagnose flight systems and even make immediate cyber repairs.
We have left and right engine.
Once you learn all the systems, then the aircraft is an easy aircraft. What you do as much as flying it is manage the systems and keep an eye, make sure everything's working properly, and it does the rest.
The 777's successful integration of technology and cabin comfort can make a long-distance flight like this one much more enjoyable. When Flight 99 finally arrives at Hong Kong International, the 777 received enthusiastic reviews.
They actually like sitting in coach now. They don't feel trapped like they do on the other aircraft. And people are always complimenting us because they feel much better on this aircraft.
We had some initial language problems until we developed an ear for the Russian controllers. But then we understood exactly what they were doing, and we worked all those communication problems out.
It was a fabulous way to go. Feel rested, we're ready for try some Hong Kong food.
What more precious commodity to a consumer than the time? Today you had a 15-hour flight. So if it had been 22 hours to get here, you'd still be out there.
We've been in the air, on land, and across